life goes on. Ra, la la, how the life goes on. Oh bloody, oh blada, life goes on. Ra, la la la, how life goes on. Chords, arpeggios, octaves. Does that sound like Greek and Latin to you? Well, in reality, actually more close to Italian. We'll learn all about that today and why they're important to us as singers. Hello and welcome to the Western Vocals course with SIFF Young Artist, where we nurture the artist in you. My name is Sharanya, and today we're going to learn all about learning to sing in pitch, and we're also going to learn some anchor notes that'll help us find our way through music. And that's where the terms that we talked about earlier, chords, arpeggios, octaves, all of that will come in. Remember to watch the video till the end for a bonus pro tip, and I'm also giving you a practice along track that you can use to try out the song that we're going to learn today. Alright, so on to the lesson, but before that, let's warm up. So if you remember the major notes that we learned, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we're going to just pick the notes, do, mi, so, skipping all of the notes in between, just do, mi and so. Alright, so listen carefully and here we go. Do, mi, so, mi, do. 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 Alright, so you can try the same pattern but replace it with the vowels. Let's try that. So great job! You're sounding good already, but keep at it. It's amazing to see you progress with each class. Now it's really important for any musician to be on pitch. So you must have heard of the phrase singing in tune, right? Now what does singing in tune mean? It simply means singing in pitch. And especially when we're working with jumps and leaps and we're skipping a lot of notes, it's important that we define each note absolutely correctly. And how do you train yourself to sing in pitch? Let's find out. So here's an exercise you can try. Pick an instrument. If you have one already at home, great, but otherwise you can use any. There are plenty of free resources available online. So pick a keyboard app and click on the note C. Listen to it very carefully. And now try and sing the same note. Is it the same? Or are you singing not in pitch? You've got to work around, see if you're singing exactly the same note. If I'm singing it means I'm singing higher than the actual note. I'm not in pitch. But if I was singing it means I'm singing lower. It's got to be exactly the same. So keep listening and see if you can match the two notes. If you're on you've got to tune yourself down and go to and if you're down lower, if you're at so tune yourself up and match the note. It takes a bit of practice, and there are tools that can help you here. There are free tuner apps that you can find. We'll list a few recommendations in the description box, so do check them out and work on pitching. Alright, so in our warm-up, we focused on 3 notes, right? We sang the notes do, mi, so, and these notes were played separately. Now imagine these 3 notes coming together and being played at the same time. There are instruments that can do this, like the piano, for instance, which can play 3 or more notes at the same time. Take a look at how that sounds and even appears on the keyboard. Now that is a chord where the notes do, mi, so are being played together at the same time. Now imagine the same 3 notes being played differently with a little space in between, just like how we sang our warm-up. That is called an arpeggio. When we sang the notes spaced out, that is called an arpeggio. They could move up or down. Do, mi, so, mi, do. That is an arpeggio. So let me give you a little fun example. Imagine you had a whole bunch of candy and you picked up 3 pieces and you put them all into your mouth at the same time. That is a chord. But if you ate them one after the other, that would be an arpeggio. So why are we talking so much about arpeggios? Arpeggios are great vocal training exercises. They help us as singers to pitch better, to train our ears better. So they're great overall. And while we're talking on the subject of leaps and jumps and arpeggios, there's one very important interval that I'd like to introduce you to, the octave. Now, does that ring a bell? Oct. And maybe that could give you a clue into what it means. Think of an octopus. How many tentacles does it have? 8 tentacles. So there's something to do with the number 8 and all right, I'll explain it to you. So you remember the major scale going back to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And if we put that in numbers, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I skipped all of the notes between 2 and 7, so it would just be 1, 8, 1, or do, do, do. And that interval is called an octave. Alright, so now on to the song. Now this song is called Obladi Oblada and it was written by the Beatles, written and performed by the Beatles. And we're going to take it really slow and you can listen to it, take a pause, rewind, and when you're ready, you can sing along with me. Right now, I'm going to be singing it maybe a little differently from the original, so I just like to encourage you as well to interpret every song in your own style. So we're going to stick largely to the melody, but there may be little stylistic choices that I make, so you're free to do the same. All right, here we go. We'll take each section. First, let's go with the verse. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. You can sing that line after me. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. And the next line is, Molly is a singer in a band. So savor those nice long notes and sing them out through band. Make sure you end with a nice D. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. Now that line's a bit of a mouthful, and so you can break it down first. Maybe speak the words. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And then you can sing it. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand. Same idea, speak the words out first and then sing it through. So let me just sing the verse together for you. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in a band. Go on. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand. Okay, and also remember, you've got to take a nice deep breath because you don't want to feel like that at the end of it, right? So remember to take a breath before you sing all of this. And now we move on to the chorus. The chorus is the most important part of this song for us in this lesson because here's where we have the arpeggio. Oh, bloody. Does that sound familiar? Do, mi, so, do, mi, so. Oh, bloody, oh, blada. Life goes on. So until then, it's the same pattern. Do, mi, so, 3 times. Oh, bloody, oh, blada. Life goes on. Bra. Now, can you tell me what that note is? The note that we just sang. Do. And what's that interval called? Do, do. 1, 8, 1. That's an octave. Very good. So, oh bloody, oh blada, life goes on. Bra, la la, how the life goes on. And that is our chorus. And now let's move on to one little section in the song that doesn't follow the same pattern as these 2 tunes that we learned. And this section is called the bridge of the song. In a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home. Okay, so savor every word, savor every note, and let's put that together. In a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home, with a couple of kids running in the yard. So until this bit is the same as the first pattern that we learned. In a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home, with a couple of kids running in the yard. Notice how both those tunes are the same. And then we just have to add another line, which is of Desmond and Molly Jones. And that concludes the bridge. So let's just put those 3 lines together. In a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home, with a couple of kids running in the yard of Desmond and Molly Jones. Very good, you got it. So play it back, slow it down, take a pause if you must. That's why we've done this bit slow. This bit's for you to take at your own pace and learn the song. Every time you're stuck for the arpeggio or the warm-up that we learned, the notes do, mi, so, do, just reflect back on this tune. Oh bloody, oh blada, life goes on. La, 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 how life goes on. And that'll give you the notes to the arpeggio, do, mi, so, do. Great job, and keep practicing. So don't forget to check out the link in the description box where we've got a demo track and a practice along track that you can use. And now let's do a quick recap of everything that we learned today. We first spoke about how important listening is to be able to sing on pitch. We also learned an exercise that can help us stay on pitch. We then talked about chords, arpeggios, and octaves, and how important these are for us singers. Alright, and now for our bonus pro tip, we've got a fun little game for you that you can play with yourself and with your friends. Write out on little pieces of paper the numbers 3, 5, and 8, or if you're comfortable, you could also do mi, so, and do. Now, I'll show you how to play this game. So do a nice shuffle of the chits and see what we've got. Okay, I've got a mi here. So pick a note on the keyboard. For example, C. Do. That note that you pick is going to be your do. Do. And I've got mi here. So my challenge is to be able to sing mi when I hear do. Do. How do I find mi now? I think back of the arpeggio, the warm-up that we learned. Do, mi, so. Or I could also think back to the song that we learned. Oh, bloody. And I picked the second note, which was mi. And there we go. Do, mi. And that's my answer. All right, let's shuffle again and see what we get this time. Ha, it's a so. And you know exactly what to do this time. Refer back to the song, the melody and the arpeggio, and you'll be able to sing your so. Try it out yourself and I'm sure you're going to do great. So if you enjoyed learning with us today, make sure to like the video and share it with your friends. Do tell us in the comments below what you think you enjoyed in the lesson. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications so you're the first to know when a new video is up. See you in the next lesson, but until then, keep singing.